Hey,
Welcome back, Beaners.
We are back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're doing it again, baby.
Yeah. Man on Fire. Yeah. Good movie.
Yeah?
I liked the ending better when I watched it than when it was described to me.
Yeah. I don't know what that means, but I love it.
Yeah, I was expecting like this big sort of shootout at the end.
Why?
Because all the way through he was killing people.
Oh, yeah. That's why I thought it was a good movie. Because he didn't, whoever wrote it didn't write it like how it obviously was supposed to end.
Yeah.
And I love movies like that. Have you seen No Country for Old Men?
No Country for Old Men. Yes.
I love same kind of where the writing, it's all the shootout and all this shit, and then the ending is like just conversation. And I'm like, wait, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I love movies like that. I love
this whole cat and mouse chase leads to a talking.
a talk.
Yeah.
And then like an exchange. And
Yeah.
it's like, what? I love that in a movie, writing wise.
It takes so many shots to the chest.
Takes a unrealistic amount.
Right?
Though I don't know, 50 Cent was shot 9 times. You know what? I don't know what's realistic.
Yeah, but
about
50
bullets.
Cent was shot 9 times and then didn't
At
do a
separate times.
hostage
Yeah.
situation.
He was also shot at all separate. They weren't like all at one.
No, it was at one time.
No, he didn't get shot 9 times at one time. He got shot like 3 or 4 times at one time.
Okay, I thought he got shot all 9
No,
times.
the big one, the one that got in the mouth, and the one that's in like the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the okay. But yeah, he didn't he didn't conduct a
He
hostage.
also, after that, Get
over.
Rich or Die Trying is not about taking over little girls in Mexico.
Yeah.
Good point. It's about a rap guy.
Yeah, he was doing a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy. Were you grossed out as much by the blood?
The finger scene was tough.
Oh, I thought you were talking about, I was thinking more of the, because you were cringing a lot at the him getting in the water and letting the blood soak out.
Yeah, that was a little bit. During the movie, it was one of those, like, all those shots were one of those fast-paced shots.
Yeah, that quick cut.
Yeah, so that wasn't that bad. But the finger scene, that's what was like,
That was slow.
like I was like,
And then he cuts his fucking ear off.
yeah, oh god, oh that scene was nuts.
That was fucking nuts.
Yeah, and he just kills him.
What anything I hit, anything I missed, stuff like that.
I mean, the pacing of the shots is you were spot on. It's just like quick,
Yeah.
and almost like they're almost like still shots.
Almost.
Yeah, there's like
They're moving so fast, it's almost just like a picture reel.
yeah, it's like when she gets kidnapped. There's a couple still shots of her crying that look like
Ah! And like these quick, almost like quick shots of screaming.
yeah.
Ah! Crazy! Like shit like that.
Crazy. Yeah. I wish you mentioned the music a little more.
I didn't mention the music. I didn't.
How it's in every scene. That over dramatic, the violins, the guitar, the
That
lonely
slow,
guitar.
lonely guitar. I mentioned that,
lonely
but I
guitar.
didn't mention as much as it is.
Yeah, it happens. It happens every time. Every time, every scene, there's a fucking, even when it's like about the bird, it's like the slow romantic. Yeah.
It's like that. It's so fucking funny.
You know what it is? Like in terms of like how the shots look and how like the music and stuff, it reminded me a lot of Bad Boys.
Yes, it was as if they took the shots of Bad Boy
And added plot.
and added some plot.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, let's not just have him argue for things. Her and Peter just arguing.
That's what it looked like. It was like, oh, this is what Bad Boys with plot would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that that movie, like the shots felt I don't think we shoot movies like that anymore.
No.
It felt very 90s, just the
last
colors.
movie- Yeah, the last movie that was shot kind of, because it's kind of dull. The colors are dulled.
Yeah.
It's shot very gritty and it's shot very fast. But it's good, but it's not like over the top. It's like, this is the pacing for this movie.
It served it well.
Yeah,
It served the movie well.
And you're right. That's a good question of what movies are shot like that now. I don't know.
I can't think of it. Off the top of my head, there's nothing.
I
like
really
that.
can't.
Yeah.
Not even like action. You know what I mean? Not even like a transform. Like not a lot of movies shot like in that quick cut
Yeah.
pace.
Well, yeah. It served the movie well because I thought it was gonna be cheesy.
Yeah.
Because it started off a little cheesy, and then like the swimming scenes. I was like, okay,
Them connecting where there's no guns, it's just good acting. When it's just good acting, it's just Dakota Fanning and Denzel.
She killed it.
Oh, dude. And she's only in fucking a piece of the movie.
Yeah, she's not in a lot, but she killed it. It was really apparent. Like the first scene where they drive to school.
She's asking him a question.
She's asking a lot of questions, and he says, "I know more than you should," and she says, "I know."
Yeah.
And then what really highlights? She says, "Well, thank you." And then what really highlights it, her acting, is that because you meet Sister Anna.
Yes.
And she's a bad actress.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, you just see the difference in quality.
from a 7-year-old or however old the fuck she was
Yeah.
in that movie. God, she's incredible. She's absolutely incredible in this movie.
She's really good. Very white. Incredibly
Insane how that little girl came out of that Mexican dude's nutsack.
Yeah, right. I can think of it. Mark Anthony played a perfect bitch father.
Yeah, this
He
guy
was just a
who
little
this
bitch.
bitch ass dude who was just kind of like making bad decisions, man. Just making really bad decisions. And you got this piece of shit lawyer who I thought Mickey Rourke did a good job of just being this piece of shit. I loved the bad guys. I love all the bad guys. We watched him. I love the guy who played the voice. I thought he killed it. I love the guy who's Victor Fuentes. You know what I mean? Like,
I thought Fuentes would look more tough.
No, he looks like an actual cop,
corrupt cop, fat off the money.
I was like, oh, that's exactly what he looks like. Just a regular. He looks like a regular guy. Just like a regular fucking guy. I like that they didn't over. You're right. Good point. He wasn't like an over the top bad guy. He was just some fucking piece of shit corrupt cop.
Yeah,
who eats a lot of donuts. He's a piece of shit.
Getting fat off the wealth that he's created.
Yeah, travels around in a motorcade.
Yeah,
which doesn't do shit apparently.
Yeah,
Gets took out by one guy.
One rocket launcher,
and then he had enough time. I told you he walked down.
He didn't
even hustle.
Yeah, no, because he couldn't, because he's been shot in the chest twice.
Also good point. He can't really hustle.
He's not a hustler, really.
At this point.
Yeah, one guy takes out the whole, well, it was a pretty weak motorcade, just one car.
No, it was like 3. It was 3 because he blew up the one in front and then the other 2 behind. He threw a grenade in one and then got in the other. Yeah, so it was 3. Yeah. But he just killed. But the way he killed everyone is like, Jesus, that was quick.
Yeah.
Did you like the I wish you had more time?
That's a dope line.
And then he puts a bomb in a butthole.
The lines were good. Yeah. Everyone keeps telling me they're a professional. I wish they'd stop saying that.
Professional. I liked when everyone keeps saying, buddy, I'm a professional. Like, I love that everyone said it like he was going to go, oh.
That, and everyone kept telling him, like, I'm part of Hermandad. Like, he was going to give a shit.
Yeah, like, clearly, this guy's past that.
Yeah. I liked how there was no backstory.
You get the little pieces they gave you, and that's all they gave you.
All you know is that he's like some counterinsurgent assassin. That's all you. That's all you.
He's ex-CIA.
But you really don't know what's haunting him. You really don't know what he did.
Him and Walken did.
Yeah, that made him want to kill himself. I like that because everything has a fucking backstory now. Even Mamma Mia has an origin story.
Mamma Mia. Here we go again. That's what they did. That's so fucking stupid. We don't give a fuck what that bitch is from.
Yeah, dude. Mamma Mia didn't need an Uncle Ben type storyline. What the fuck are you talking about?
You're right. They don't know. Let me piece it together in my head.
Yeah. I guarantee you though, if there's a Man on Fire 2, it's that.
It's everything that happened before.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Which is.
And Dakota's 30.
Yeah. She's still in it.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I really enjoyed it. Let's see what else. I did think it was funny that like even when she's swimming, they're using the action cuts.
Oh yeah. They're like we're not gonna stop these action cuts. When she's burping on the piano.
Yeah.
Action cuts.
Something that you didn't mention that was good. It's just the way the subtitles show up on the screen, how they just pop up.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not even speaking Spanish. They're just the words that they're saying will pop up, like a professional will pop up.
Yeah, and then it'll fade, like disintegrate off the screen. Yeah. Those were cool. I didn't even think about that.
It was interesting what they chose and what they didn't.
Yeah, because it wasn't even about. Of course, sometimes it was Spanish, but sometimes you're right. It was just like, no, this is an important word. La Hermandad.
The professional. Professional popped up a lot.
Victor Fuentes. Like it was just certain things like catch this name, and I was like, it was just for a movie that's supposed to be cheesy. It's not. It's just they nailed it. Who directed this? They did a good job.
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, even if it was a little cheesy, that was sort of part of it.
That's what I mean. It wasn't for a movie that could have easily gone the other way.
Yeah, and especially because we kind of already know what's gonna happen.
They set it up in the first 5 seconds that hey, this little girl's gonna get kidnapped, and then they walk you down to it, which I love. They're like, we're not gonna run, we're gonna walk to it.
Take your time, because they're like, what's happening, so why not?
So now, what are we rushing for?
Yeah, let's show them swimming.
And also, by the time she does get kidnapped, I want you to now be nervous. By the time she is coming out the piano class, I want you to feel for this little girl. Like I want you to be like, no, we made
it this far.
We just went our first swim meet. You know what I mean? You're supposed to. It's that feeling of
she wasn't even supposed to be here.
Yeah.
But now you know why. Now, like you get why her dad said it was not negotiable.
He's a piece of shit.
He was setting up his. I mean, that plan was a pretty bad plan.
She said that they were gonna eat ice cream and watch cartoons, bro. The kidnapper said that? That's it. The kidnapper said that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe think things through a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Man on Fire. Everyone.
Denzel, you're the fucking shit.
Yeah, for real.
Man on Fire, everybody. Watch it.
Hey,
The camera lens.
We are back.
I always forget to always look at myself.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And this hello, because you're the people. That's me.
Yeah.
Hello, Beaners. Hello, Derek.
For those of you who don't know, we do this with no one else in the room, so we have to watch the cameras ourselves.
Yeah, which I like.
Yeah. Be your own producers, guys.
Be your own podcast.
And also
Your own.
in room producers anyway. Gabe, we still need you very much.
Oh, that's funny
man.
shit. Hey, welcome back, Beaners. Another episode, another week. We're so happy that you are listening.
What
We
are
are so
doing
happy.
today? What are we doing?
He doesn't know. You know.
I
Hassan Jasahim Ahmad.
No, that was the closest to my actual middle name.
Oh, Hassan Jerome Ahmad.
Nope, you lost it.
What happens?
Right.
I also know that they're kind of like, hey, get to it. And it's like, I'll take my time. What happens in the movie/film The Breakfast Club?
Really? Huh. I was expecting like a classic
I
movie.
know you weren't. Oh, baby, I know you weren't.
Oh well, don't do that. This makes me dislike you. All right. What happens in The Breakfast Club? All right. So it's a John Hughes movie. I know that.
Okay.
So it's about a bunch of kids who are trying to figure it all out.
All right.
Yeah. And
Good premise.
there's 6 of them.
Okay.
3 guys, 3 girls.
Uh-huh.
Maybe 5. We'll go 3 guys, 2 girls.
Okay.
Or 6. It doesn't matter. And they are in detention. And they're all in there for different reasons. They're probably there on like a Saturday or some shit.
Okay.
They're all in there for different reasons. They're
You've
all.
heard everything about this movie without saying. I mean, if you haven't, that'd be weird too.
I mean, I know.
If you hadn't heard anything about this movie, that would probably be more weird.
I mean, I think I know enough about it.
Well, obviously.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
saying that's what it's like. You don't. You
Yeah.
just be this one. You're like, okay, you know about this movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I
Clearly,
don't.
because you're saying it. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, you know this one.
I don't know. I don't know like what each archetype is or who plays it.
No, but you know this movie.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
the first one. I'm like, oh, he knows it. Okay.
Yeah. You know, there's the bad boy probably. There's a nerd guy.
Yeah, you've seen the movie. All right, we get that you've seen. You've heard of the movie.
There's probably.
What do you think happens?
There's probably an adult. This is a John Hughes movie. There's probably an adult that doesn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
That's their main foil. That's probably the guy who's in detention, or who's supposed to watch detention, and then just sort of go around and have adventures.
What is the plot of this movie? Tell me what you think happens.
Oh,
What
I
happens?
think
Like actually,
happens?
because you're describing the things you know.
Okay.
That's I'm like, fuck that. What do you
Okay.
think happens in the movie?
Let's see. They find out that the guy is stealing stuff.
Okay. Here we go.
It's like, he's stealing money or just like doing shady shit. And they're trying to expose him.
I like this. They're bringing him down. Huh?
Yeah, they try. They realize it's all kind of pointless. But they become.
they try to bring him down and then they realize
whatever.
that the system is
Yeah, the system is too much.
all right for an 80s movie. I like this.
Yeah, it's very dark, very fatalist. And then they leave detention. They're not like hanging out with each other, but they're friendly in the halls, and they'll like say hi to each other. And there's an unspoken bond between them.
Ooh. I like that. Like a montage at the end of them, like, we all respect each other.
Yeah, they all respect
I've
each
seen
other,
that montage.
but they're all in their own little zones of the world.
Okay.
Yes,
And that's your Breakfast Club.
that's my Breakfast Club.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Not bad.
not bad.
Movie starts with a theme song. The rock music kicks in. There's a theme song to this movie. Do you know the theme song to this movie?
No.
It's a very famous theme song. So you hear doom doom hey doom doom, right? And then you see the Breakfast Club. And right when you see the Breakfast Club, you hear hey 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 hey. Whoa, whoa. Won't you? That's, I was like, you know this song. Everybody in the history of the world knows this song.
Yeah, I was hoping you do the whoa part longer.
Love strange. And it's just this for a long time.
Okay.
Like it's the whole song, for sure.
Okay.
Like chorus, hook, bridge.
What are they showing while the
Credits,
song is playing?
credits.
Oh, just credit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Names.
Okay.
So, like, when the light gets into your heart, baby, don't you forget about me. Don't. And it's also, this song is stuck in my head nonstop.
Oh, well, you just watched the movie.
Yeah. Whew, good luck with that. It's
enough.
in my head. So credits keep rolling, and then finally, song's playing, and it says, a quote comes on the screen. Screen. And it says, and these children that you spit on as they try to change their worlds are immune to your constellations. They're quite aware of what they're going through.
I've heard that quote recently.
David Bowie. That's probably why he died. So somebody probably said, but that's a David Bowie quote.
Yeah,
right, so that comes on the screen.
Yeah, I heard that quote in response to all these protests that the kids are doing now, the anti-gun ones. That's what I heard it with.
David Bowie said it.
Oh, nice.
So, you hear the song keeps going, rain keeps falling down, 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 down. And right then it gets all the downs. And then, and then the quote breaks like glass. Mm-hmm. Like somebody's busting through it, right? And then you see a high school. And then a voiceover comes in. And it goes, Saturday, March 24th, 1984. Charmer High School in Sherman, Illinois. Like Sherman and Sherman, Illinois. Like he says all these things, right? And then they show empty high school and like shots of just like the school being empty, right? And then you hear the voiceover go, Dear Mr. Vernon, we accept that we have to sacrifice a day in attention for doing something wrong. We did do something wrong. But we think it's crazy for you to make us write an essay telling us telling you who we think we are. You'll always just see us as you want to see us. A brain, and then they show like a nerdy classroom. An athlete, they show a locker room. A basket case, they show like a weird dark section of the school, like where
where all the basket cases
they show
hang out.
a criminal, and then it's like I feel like they show something for the basket, and then a criminal, and then they show like a fucked up locker, like a locker that's all trash and got graffiti on it, and then a criminal, and he's correct, and then he goes, that's how we saw each other at 7 a.m. this morning as well, brainwashed. Right then they show a BMW pull up to the school. All right, okay. This movie's, by the way, perfect. Like, remember how Ferris Bueller was just like, "Oh, this is a perfect movie. It's perfect."
Like in terms of
no
like,
fat, no fucking,
in terms of writing,
acting, everything. It's the reason why this movie has been called back a million times. Like watching it again, I was just like, I've seen it a million times. I already knew the movie word for word because it's one of those movies that you just know. And then I'm just like, this movie is fucking perfect. Hour 30 minutes. Nigga,
I like
love
that.
it.
Hour 30.
John Hughes, man, you know how to make a fucking movie, dude.
There's something about like if you can get a good story off in an hour 30.
And also because it's one of those things where it's like if you can do it, it's amazing, and it's also like that benefit of like that's all you really need. Yeah. Make a great movie. Hour 30, bro. That's what you need. That's what you need. Everything else is what you want. You want it to be all these other things.
Well, yeah, sometimes because I always look at the runtimes of the movies after you tell it to me, and I always, if it's like even Man on Fire, before I watch it, I was like, 2:30.
Mm-hmm. It's like wow. He's like, what did you have to fit? What was the extra hour for?
Yeah.
That's I go off hour 30, and then everything else is like you put extra in there.
Yeah.
You just were you making Titanic, nigga?
Well, Titanic was 2 separate movies.
That's what I'm saying. Like unless you're making Avatar, hour 30 minutes. So. A BMW shows up, right? Mm-hmm. Pulls up right in the front, and then you hear a girl say, "I can't believe you can't get me out of this. It's Saturday, right?" And then they show her it's Molly Ringwald, right? And then she goes, "It's not like," and she's complaining more and more, and then she goes, "It's not like I'm defective or anything." And then the dad goes, "Skipping class to go shopping doesn't make you defective, sweetheart." And then he kisses her, right? And then she gets out.
Ooh, rich kid.
Yeah. So the next, as she gets out, they pan over. The shots in this are amazing too. All the shots are perfect. Right. They pan over to the nerdy kid. And he's getting out of his car. And you'd recognize him. He's the nerd in every 80 movies. Every 80 movie ever. That guy.
80s nerd.
The guy, are you thinking of the guy? He's the same nerd
I'm not
all the movies.
I'm not thinking of the guy, but when I see him, I'll be like, oh, that's the guy.
That guy. There's only one dude who's the nerd in every 80s movie. Right. And right when you see him, be like, oh yeah, that guy who's the nerd in every single 80s movie. So he was even in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He plays one of the kids. Okay. That calls Ferris. So he they cut to him, and then she go. It's the mom yelling at him, and then she goes, "Get in there and use your time to your advantage. You better do everything you can in there to use your time wisely." And then he goes, "I'm not supposed to study in there, Mom. That's the whole point of detention is to just sit there. And then she goes, mister, you better find a way to study. Now go. And then she kind of hits him and he gets out, right?
Besides the hitting part, was this my mom?
So she goes, the next scene is then they pan to the next car, right? Mm-hmm. And it's the athlete and he's in like a truck with his dad. And then the dad's like, hey, I screwed around. I screw around. Guys, that's what you do. You screw around, but you can't, get caught. You can't let yourself get in trouble. That's the thing, right?
That's fair.
And then he goes, you don't want to mess up your life, blah blah blah. And then the kid, the athlete who is Emilio Estevez, he goes, mom already yelled at me. And then the dad goes, hey, you want to miss a match? You want to blow a ride? No school's going to give a scholarship to a discipline case. Now get in there, right? And then he slams the door. The dad is also one of the cops from the Dark Knight movies.
Oh, okay. He's doing this weird Eddie Murphy thing.
Yeah. So we see right then as that car pulls off. All these shots go hand in hand, right? Right. That car pulls off. Then we see a guy in a trench coat.
Very Seinfeld-esque.
Yeah, a guy in a trench coat and like boots. The bad boy, right? See him walking up. Okay. So he's walking up. And then as they show him like walking up, they see a emo girl kind of get dropped off, right? Like she's in all black and got that black paint on her face. Right. She gets out of her car and then she's kind of sitting there and then she goes to like say bye to her parents in the front and then they just drive off without looking at her. And then she kind of goes like this and then she walks in. All right, so they show and it happens like boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So you see it all really quick.
Who plays the bad boy? Who plays the
bad boy is a dude who just killed this role and then he never did anything else. I mean, he did other stuff, but he never like went on to top this.
Okay, he just killed
this.
That.
This was his breakout because he's the lead in this movie. The bad boy.
Emo girl.
Emo girl, you won't recognize. The only people you recognize are the three.
Okay.
But they all had like careers. The other two I haven't seen them in anything else but this.
Names.
Yeah. So they all like walk in. The jock and the princess sit next to each other at a table. Mm-hmm. Okay, like and they're in the library, right? So they sit next to each other at a table. The nerd is sitting behind them.
Right.
The bad boy walks in and he tells the nerd, "Get the fuck up and move over there." So he sits behind the cool kids. Okay, nerd is now sitting on the other side of the room.
Right.
The basket case girl walks in and then she looks like she's gonna sit on that side and she's like, "Oh fuck that," and then she goes and sits on the nerd side, like behind him.
Right.
Okay. I didn't realize. I was like, "Oh, that is what would happen." Until I watched yesterday, I was like, "Oh, everything about it, bro, is exactly to the T of the characters don't break. High school, the little weird shit about just sitting. You know what I mean?
Where you sit,
who's sitting with who? All that shit, bro. Because you see, they all walk in. Like the princess sits in the cool seat, and then the jock looks around and he's like, "I'm sitting here with her."
Yeah.
And everybody kind of, and then the nerd comes and sits right behind them.
Sort of fits
and the criminal's like, "Get the fuck over there!" Like it just all. And then the basket's like, "I'm sitting with him, then. Fuck y'all." Like it just goes like that.
It's interesting when I remember this from high school. Just like I remember, we would get like assigned seating, and then we would like. We wouldn't wait to be able like to change seats, right? We'd be like, I can't wait for new seating assignments, right? But whenever we got to choose seats, we never moved for the rest of the year.
Of course.
Yeah, it's very like when kids choose where to sit, it's like it's very planned out.
And it's planned and it's political.
Yeah.
It's very
it's
political.
Like this weird political game you play.
Yeah, that's why you don't move because it's like, oh, this is no. So
yeah, if you move, it's a problem.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the principal walks in, okay, and we hear, well, here we are.
Oh, it's the principal?
This is the principal.
Is this principal a shitty detective?
No.
Okay.
But it's a guy you recognize. He's been fucking Die Hard. He was one of the bad cops.
Okay.
Like the cops, the first guy on the scene, and then the FBI guys came and they're like, "This is our case now."
Yeah.
The first guy was also an asshole. Yeah. That Officer Winslow was talking to.
Oh. Him. Officer Winslow was just talking to shitty people the entire
whole movie, and then people kept coming and going, "This is our thing."
Yeah.
Now. So the first guy, all right, it was this dude. Okay, he's the principal, and he goes, right then the Molly Ringwald character, she gets up and says how she doesn't belong here, and then he completely ignores her. Mm-hmm. And he goes, "It's now 7:06. You all have 8 hours to ponder the error of your ways. You may not talk. You may not move from the seats." And then he looks at Burner, who's the bad boy, and he goes, "And don't sleep." And he will not sleep, right? Because he already has like his legs kicked up. And then the principal says, "You all going to write an essay describing who you think you are with 1,000 words or less. Like 1,000 words. It has to be 1,000 words.
Yeah.
Do not repeat one word 1,000 times." And he looks at the bad boy again, right? And he goes, "That clear, Mr. Bender?" And then the guy, he goes, "Yes, sir." And then the nerd like says how he's gonna write like this kind of paper to like try and kiss up to him. And then he tells him, the principal's like, sit down, like to him, like I'm not dealing with it. And then he goes, my office is across the hall. Any monkey business will be ill-advised, right? And then right then the bad boy goes, I have a question. And he goes, what is it? And he goes, does Barry Manilow know you're raiding his closets? And then he goes, you'll get the answer to that next Saturday. You mess with the bull, young man, you get the horns. Principal's great, dude. He's so funny, okay?
What is...
the principal is so funny.
That's so funny. What does the principal do? Why is he there on a Saturday?
He's doing the Saturday school detention.
Yeah, but what, is he doing stuff or he's just literally just sitting in his office?
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, someone tell me what principals do. I'm so...
So they all sit there for a second, right? And then you hear the weird girl like biting her nails. Like you just hear... And it's this great shot of them all like turning, you know, and they're looking at her. And then the dude goes, you know, you keep eating your hand, you're not going to be hungry for lunch. The bad boy. And then the nerd like... And then it shows like she kind of looks at him and keeps biting harder. And then it shows the nerd and he's like pondering his essay, like what he's gonna write. And then you see the bad, like he's being kind of weird and like talking to himself. And then the bad boy's kind of fucking staring at him. Great shots of them staring at each other.
Just like
so many of the shots are just like, and it's just perfect because it's just exactly the mood, you know.
I can sort of see it in that John Hughes way.
Yeah,
like,
dude, still
shots
right on you for a while.
Yeah,
you know. So he like sees the bad boy staring at him and he stops being weird, you know? And then right then they're just kind of sitting there quietly. Just lots of shots of them kind of dozing off like in detention, you know?
Right.
And then he's throwing a piece of paper and then the bad boy just kind of goes like, you know, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. And he gets louder. No, 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 no. And then he stops and he goes, oh shit, I gotta take a piss, you know? And then he goes, well, what? And then he kind of looks around. And he's like, oh, I guess I gotta go in here. What are we supposed to do? And he acts like he's about to take a piss. And then the Emilio Estevez guy goes, hey, you're not urinating in here, man. And he goes, hey, don't talk to me. Don't talk while it's out. It makes me nervous. He goes, hey, you'll be dead before one drop hits the floor, buddy. All right. And then right then he stops and he like acts like he's not gonna do it then. And he goes, hey, nerd. And he looks at the nerd and he goes, hey, nerd, why don't we close the door and get the prom queen impregnated? And he looks at her, yeah, bro. And then the Emilio Estevez guy goes, hey, I lose my temper. You're totaled, man. And then the bad boy goes, totally? And he goes, totally.
What the fuck?
And then Claire's like, both of you shut up. And then the jock guy is like, Emilio's like, fucking butt face, right? Calls him a butt face. And then the bad boy goes, hey, Sporto, what'd you do to get in here? And then, you know, he's like, knock it off. Like, leave me alone, right? And then the Claire girl goes, stop. He's just doing it to get a rise out of you. Just ignore him. And then he goes, honey, you couldn't ignore me if you tried. And then he goes, come on, Sporto, level with me. You messing with her? And they're like, shh. They're like both trying to ignore him. He's like, no, come on, guys. Are you giving her the hot beef injection? And they're both like, shut up! Right? And then he kind of smiles. And then you hear Vernon go, hey, what's going on in there? And you see him like peek out his office.
Yeah.
And he kind of leans back slowly. Dude, he's great. He kills it. So the next scene is like it cuts back to Burner, right? And he's saying, let's say we close that door, right? Because there's a door open. You got the door open to like the library, right? And then across that is Vernon's office.
Right.
Okay. So they're just in the library alone.
Right.
Right. And so he goes, let's say we close that door. And then the nerd goes, door's supposed to stay open. And then right then the bad boy, the fucking jock, he goes, you know, Bender, you don't even count. You know, if you disappeared forever, no one would even fucking care. No one even knows you exist, man. He's talking about shit. And then he goes, oh, really? Well, maybe I should be a wrestler or in a club. How about that? Would that make me count? You know? And then the girl goes, you're afraid. And then he goes, I'm afraid. And he goes, well, how about maybe the activities people are all assholes? And then she's like, you don't even know any of us. And he goes, I don't know any lepers either, but I'm not joining their fucking clubs. And then, he's just talking bad shit to everybody.
Yeah, he's just throwing grenades constantly.
Constantly, bro. So he steals it. He is the movie. Though.
Okay.
Like it all revolves around him. You can feel, you know. And so then the nerd right then he like kind of hops up because he wants to get into the conversation. And he just names all the clubs he's in. Like he's in like 5 or 6 like athletic like academic clubs, and then no one cares.
Yeah,
no one like everyone kind of ignores.
No one
him.
cares about the nerd.
And
Just
then
relax.
the criminal guy goes, he asks Molly, so Molly, are you in any of those clubs? And then she immediately is like, no, those are academic clubs. And he goes, oh, so a club for dorks. And then she goes, no, it's just, it's just like, it's different. It's a different social thing. That's all. And then he goes, no. It's still a social situation. Theirs is a much sadder, but it's still a social situation, And then like they're all like, just shut up, man. All you do is go get high with your friends. Is that what we're supposed to do? Go be burnouts like you and your buddies? And then they kind of all look at each other. It's just nonstop of that. They're just going back and forth of like who everybody is, all right? So right then you hear a guy go, the athlete goes, hey guys, shut up before Werner comes back in here and I have to miss another meet next week. And then the criminal guy goes, oh, wouldn't that burn me up? Missing a meet? Oh, God! Right? And then he goes, you're missing a whole wrestling meet? Oh, God! And then he goes, it would, faggot. This is Emilio Estevez.
Nice.
It would, faggot. You never
80s.
Right?
Robots in disguise.
You never competed in your whole life. And then he goes, oh, and I feel so empty inside because of it. And then he goes, you know what, Burner? You don't even have any goals. He goes, no. He goes, no, I don't. I want to be just like you. All I need is a lobotomy and some tights,
Ooh,
and then,
snap.
Yeah, and then the nerd guy goes, you wear tights to the jock? And he goes, no, I wear the required uniform. And then Burner's like, you mean tights? Shut up, man! So right then he gets up because he notices Werner's walking down the hallway to like go get some water.
Yeah.
Right? And he gets up and he starts messing with the door. And then they're all like, Bender, that's school property. Bender, stop, man. Bender, stop doing it. He's like, shut up, everybody. And then right then he takes the screw out and the door like closes, right? And then Werner's like, he hears it down the hall and he starts running over. And then they're all like, Burner, fix the door, man. He's like, shut up. Burner, come on, fix the door. Shut up. Burner, please fix the door, man. Shut up. And then right then Vernon walks in. He's like, why is that door closed? Why is that door closed? And then Burner's like, how should we know, sir? We're not supposed to move. And then she goes, shut up, Burner. One of you tell me why that door is closed. And then the Molly Ringwald girl goes, I agree with Burner, sir. We were all just sitting here. And then he kind of looks at her like, all right, you're cool.
Yeah, I didn't expect you. At least you're not a narc.
Yeah, you're not a fucking narc.
Well, how does Nerd Boy handle it?
And then, they're all just kind of sitting there fucking terrified.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then he keeps screaming, who's closed that door? And then the Burner guy goes, I think a screw fell out of it, sir. And then right then the basket case goes, and slams her head down. Like, oh shit, And then he goes, give me the screw. I don't have it, sir. Give it to me, Burner. Sir, I'm sorry. I don't have it. And then right then the Molly Ringwald character goes, sir, why would anyone want to steal a screw?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a pretty solid point.
So right then he's trying to put a chair in between the door, like to prop it open. And then you hear the Burner guy go, it's too heavy, sir. It won't work. That door is a little too heavy. And then right then the door closes. Poof, damn it. And then he goes, Andrew Clark, come here, son. Front and center. And the athlete gets up and he's like, and then right then the athlete gets up and he goes, wait, Andrew gets to get up? Well, what if Andrew gets up and then Claire gets up and I'll get up and we'll all get up? It'll be anarchy. Screaming as him and the other dude are like trying to put a bookshelf in between the door.
Right.
And then right as they get it, so now there's a bookshelf in between the door. And then Burner goes, sir, isn't that a fire hazard? I mean, what if there's a fire, sir? How are we going to get out to safety? And then right then the principal goes, Andrew, what is this shit? What are you putting this here for? Help me move it, goddammit. And then they move it back, and then he goes, go sit down. I expected more from a varsity letterman. And then Andrew guy's like, what?
I love that. I love when you're in power, you can just throw shit downhill.
It's everybody's fault.
Everybody else's fault. Yeah, it all goes down, baby.
So they do all that, right? And then they move it back. And then he goes, you're not fooling anybody, Bender. He goes, and the next screw that falls out will be you. And then he turns to walk away, right? And then you hear Bender
Weird
go,
line.
Right? You hear Bender go, eat my shorts. Right? And he goes, what'd you say? Eat my shorts. That's another Saturday, bub. That's another Saturday right there. You want another? Yeah, why not? You got it. You want another? Yeah, but beyond that, I'm gonna have to check my schedule. You got it, bub. That's another, right? And then he goes, He goes, say the word. Instead of prison, you'll come here. I'll have you here every Saturday. And then he's like, you want another? And he goes, yeah. And then right then Clara goes, cut it out. All right? It turns around. And then he's like, nah. He's like, fucking now. The Bender dude's like, fuck you, man. He's pissed. And then he goes, you through? The principal goes, you through? And he goes, not even close, bud. That's another. You got another one. And then they keep going back. Now they're going back before they get like a couple more like that.
Right.
And then he goes, right there, that's 8. And then the nerd goes, that's actually 7, sir. He goes, no, that's 8, blah, blah. He goes, sir, that's actually, and then he lists all the ones he said.
Yeah.
He goes, shut your mouth, that's 8. He goes, you hear me? You're mine. For the next 2 months, I got you. Mine, you're mine, right? And then he goes, and then the Bender guy goes, well, I'm fucking thrilled, right? And then he goes, that's it. I'm gonna be right outside those doors. And the next time I come in here, I'm cracking skulls. And then the Bender guy like mouths up like cracking skulls. Like he says it all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he holds up the bullhorns again. And then he walks out the room, right? And then the music gets really intense as he walks out like that. And then the door closes and you hear Bender go, fuck you! Like from his perspective outside.
Yeah.
And then I love this shot. Because it was a really good actor choice or the director's choice. But he doesn't get angry. He hears the fuck you and he goes, and then the scene ends. And I thought that was a beautiful shot because it's like, oh, he's not wanting to be this guy, man. It's just, this is like, it added a little bit to the character. And I really like that shot.
To like,
just add a little
shit,
bit.
like I'm kind of sad for this kid.
Kind of sad for this kid. And I'm kind of sad that I'm the guy doing this. And like, you know what I mean? Like,
I didn't expect to be this guy, probably.
Exactly. It was a really good shot.
Who as a kid is like, I'm going to be the principal. I'm going to be the guy who brings the rules down.
I'm going to be the guy that fucking gives out Saturday schools.
Yeah. No, I don't think no one wants to be that guy.
No one, dude.
No one.
And
the
then
people who do
yelling, fuck you, and you're just like,
you're just a kid.
yeah, man. And you're realizing you're going off emotion too, because you're going back and forth with this fucking kid. You know what I mean? So it's not healthy either. You know.
Also, man, there's something deeper going on with this kid. Jesus.
This movie gets real, bro.
Yeah.
So now they show the clock. You know, classic shot of like a clock and like time, like time is passing. And then it shows Bender. He's setting his shoe on fire. He's just kind of like, it's just shots of people fucking around. He's setting his shoe on fire and he's smoking a cigarette. They show the
You
nerd.
can smoke cigarettes back at this time, huh? Or can you?
Definitely not in libraries. I don't know much. I don't know much. I don't know much.
I don't know how much. Yeah, it's probably a little. I remember like teachers telling me how kids used to smoke in school all the time.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know.
True. I don't know if it was a Saturday school allowed. Like
definitely not indoors either.
And definitely not during detention.
Yeah.
I don't think you're allowed to smoke cigarettes during. Like I don't know much. I wasn't there. I don't know. That's just my guess. So they should,
How inconsiderate smoking indoors. Jesus.
In the library too.
Yeah.
Also, what's everybody else in there, bro? Come on.
Come on.
So they show the nerd. He's like trying to hide a boner, which I thought was really funny shots of just him like clearly like like that, trying to hide a boner. And then it shows like just weird shots of them all picking at their clothes. All these still shots that we're talking about, Emilio's playing paper football, and then it's a shot of them all like passed out, right?
Right.
And then Bernard, the principal, he walks in, he's looking at him, he's like, wake up! And then they all wake up like that, And he's like, who has to go to the bathroom? And then they all like raise their hands. So fast forward a little bit, they're back inside and they're all hanging out, right? And Bender is ripping a book apart. He's just tearing all the pages off his book. Yeah. And then the athlete goes, that's real intelligent. And then he goes, yeah. And he looks at the cover. He goes, Mole really pumps my nads. And then the girl goes, Moliere. He goes, what? She goes, Moliere. He goes, he like keeps ripping, And then he goes, besides, nothing to do when you're locked in a vacancy. And then that Emilio Estevez guy goes, speak for yourself. Would I speak for you? I don't even speak your fucking language. I always thought that was a great line. I don't even speak your language, bro. Like, he said it in like this way, like, man, fuck out my face,
Yeah.
Right then, the jock invites the Molly Ringwald character to a party. He goes, he said, hey, so there's this cool kid, his parents are out of town, blah, blah, blah. And he's kind of looking at them like, don't listen to me. Like that kind of like,
yeah.
So you want to come to this party? Like that kind of thing. And then she's like, I don't know. I don't think I can go. My parents will just, if I do go, my parents are just, because I'm supposed to be in trouble, so they'll just use it to fight with each other over, they'll use me to fight with each other, and I just don't want to deal with that.
Right.
And then the bad boy goes, oh, which one likes you more? And then she goes, I don't know. They just use me to get back at each other. I don't think either one gives a shit about me. Whew. And then right then, the basket case girl goes, ha! And then they all turn and look, and then the music kicks in, like, and it fades out. And then she's kind of looking at her like pissed, like, And then the Claire girl goes, shut up. And then right then the athlete goes, you're just feeling sorry for yourself, Claire. And then you hear the bad boy go, hey, Sporto, you get along with your parents? And then he goes, well, if I say yes, I'm an idiot. You're an idiot either way. But if you say yes, you're a liar too. And then he gets up and walks off. And then the athlete dude pushes him. Emilio Estevez pushes him. He goes, hey, man, if we weren't in school right now, I'd fucking waste you. And then he goes, and then the bad boy goes, can you hear this? And Emilio looks at him. He goes, you want me to turn it up? And then he looks at him like, fuck you, man.
Yeah, stop engaging with this guy. He's clearly
good at this. He's a shit talker, man.
Yeah, he's pushing your buttons. You know the best way to get a button pusher back? Just don't do anything.
And you gotta fucking ghost him.
Yeah.
Ghost him.
Yeah.
The only way. And so, you know, and then he goes, right then the nerd comes up and he breaks it up, right? And he's like, he says how, he's like, hey, don't worry about all this, man. He goes, besides, you know, I don't get along with my parents either. And then the bad boy looks at him like, shut up, bro. You're a parent's wet dream. All right. And he goes, and then the guy's like, no, seriously, I don't get along with them. He's like, look, I know you're mad at them for probably making you wear these dorky ass clothes, you know, but other than that, you're fine. And then the jock goes like, man, why do you insult everyone? He's like, I'm just being asshole. I'm just being honest, asshole. Thought you would know the difference. And then right then she asks his name, the Bender guy. So he hasn't really said his name, I think. So he goes, Bender. And then he goes, what's yours? And then she goes, Claire. And he goes, that's a fat girl name. And then she
oh shit.
Yeah.
Got her.
She looks at him and then he tells her how, you know, she's going to get married and squeeze out a few puppies and then get like all that. And then she flicks him off and he goes, that's not very pristine. And she goes, I'm not that pristine. And he goes, are you a virgin? And then she's like, shut up. And then he asks her very graphically if she's ever been felt up. I forgot what he said because it's just extreme graphic language. How he's saying like, you ever had a guy do this. And she's like, no, what about do this? And he's just all in her shit, bro. This dude's a motherfucker.
Yes,
right?
This dude's a monster.
Killed it. He killed it. So right then, Emilio goes, leave her alone. And then he looks at him and then Emilio walks up and he goes, listen, man, I said leave her alone. And then the bad boy's like, you gonna make me? And he goes, yeah. And then he steps up to him and he goes, you and how many of your friends? Nobody, just me. And then he goes, you and me, bro, 2 hits. I hit you, you hit the floor. And then he kind of looks at him like the bad boy and he kind of looks off. And then he kind of just smacks him like that, like a slight like tap, right?
Right.
Wrestler dude, bow, throws him down immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately just throws him down.
Yeah.
And then he's like, he goes, I don't want to get into this, criminal. I don't want to get into this with you, man. And then the wrestler pops up off him. He goes, why not? What's up? And he goes, because I'd have to kill you. And he looks at him like, you ain't gonna kill nobody. He goes, no, man, if you fucking fuck with me again, I gotta kill you. Then your parents are gonna want to sue me and I gotta go to jail and it's a whole fucking thing. Man, you ain't gonna do shit. And then right then he, switchblade. Stabs it at the table and he's like, what's up? You know what I mean?
Whew, Jesus. Good Lord, way to take it to the next level. Fight, what? Is a fist fight? You bring a knife? This is not as bad boy.
Well, it is bad boy, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like, come on, relax.
It's like your version of like, hey man, I don't fight. I just, also it is like, I know you'll beat me up in a fight.
But
I'm willing to kill you. So are you willing to go there?
Yeah, where are we taking this?
yeah, because I know you'll beat me in a fight. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
So right then, the guy goes, Emilio Estevez goes, let's end this. You don't talk to her. You don't look at her. You don't even think about her. And then the bad boy goes, I'm just trying to help you, bro. You know? And then right then a janitor comes in. And then the janitor sees the nerdy guy and he goes, hey, Brian, how you doing? And of course, all the kids look at him like, you fucking loser. Yeah. And his face, I'm like, no. And then he's looking at the janitor like, no. You know? And then he goes, right then the bad boy goes, hey, Brian, your dad work here? And then Brian doesn't say anything. He's kind of looking down. And then the janitor's cleaning up and he goes, hey, Carl, the bad boy, hey, Carl, can I ask you a question? And he goes, yeah, what's up? He goes, how does one become a janitor? And then he goes, you want to be a janitor? He goes, oh, no, not me personally. But Andrew here would love to find a way to get into the custodial arts. And then he goes, you know, you guys can make fun of me all you want. You know, you can give me your shit. He goes, but I look through your letters. I look through your lockers. I am the eyes and ears of this institution. And that clock is 20 minutes fast. And he walks out and they're all like, oh, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, this janitor guy's a piece of shit.
You're shitting on him for what he does.
Yeah, sure, he does.
Yeah, he's not being a piece of shit. You.
Just the idea of this, I am the eyes and the ears, and he believed it.
Yeah, well, at that point, you got to drop some knowledge about someone in there. Like
You'd have to say something.
You had to say something like, yeah, drop a bomb and be like, oh, you want to fuck with my livelihood?
I go through your letters.
You fucking kids? That's how I would. You fucking what?
You fucking children who all look 30 for some reason?
Yeah. The 80s, different time. All the kids were 30.
So the next scene, the bad boy is his head's tied up, right? And he starts with, he's got like the red bandana on pretty much. And he goes, you know.
You're not a strong whistler.
And then everybody kicks in, right? And then they all start doing it, right? They all start doing it. And then right then the principal, Vernon, comes in. And then they all like kind of like get off beat. And then it's quiet. And then Bender goes. And then the principal is just looking at him. He's just kind of pissed. And he goes, all right, girls, 30 minutes for lunch. And the athlete goes, sir, I think the cafeteria will be a more suitable place for us to eat in. And then he goes, I don't care what you think. And then right then the bad boy goes, will milk be provided for us, Mr. Vernon? And then he goes, no. And then right then Claire goes, sir, I'll get really dehydrated without it. And then right then the athlete goes, I've seen it, sir. It's fucking disgusting. And then he's looking at him like, I fucking hate these kids, you know? So right then Bender goes, don't worry, Mr. Vernon, I'll go get it. And he gets up and he's like, grab some wood, bub. And then he picks Andrew and the weird girl, right? And he's like, you two, you're going to go get it, right? And so they're walking down the hallway. And then Andrew's trying to talk to her. And he's like, so what's your poison? And she doesn't say anything. He's like, what do you drink? And she's like, vodka. And he's like, when do you drink vodka? Whenever. You drinking a lot? Tons. And he's like, is that why you're here? And then she's like, why are you here? And he's like,
Wait, Andrew is the athlete?
Athlete. Yeah. He goes, I'm here today because my coach and my father don't want me to blow my ride. And she's kind of looking at him. And he's like, they say I'm a winner. He's like, I'm not one because I want to be. I'm more like a racehorse. That's about how involved I am with what's going on in my life.
Whew.
Yeah.
Whew. God damn. Well, that's at least that's an honest look at himself.
Yeah. And then he's like, now tell me why you're here. And then she looks at him and then she just walks off. She didn't answer him. Okay.
Shit, woman, a few words.
Woman, a few words. So back in the room, Bender, he's just bothering Claire. And then she's just like, I wish I was on a plane to France. He just keeps bothering her. And then he goes, Brian here, he's looking at Claire. He's like, Brian here, the nerd, is a cherry too. And then he's like, no, I'm not. And he's like, you've had sex. And then he's like, yeah, I had sex with this girl at Niagara Falls. He's like, oh, really? Tell me about that, right? And he lets him tell this whole Niagara Falls story. And then at the end of it, he says, and I had sex with other girls at school too. And he's like, oh, like who? And then he kind of like nods at Claire, the Brian guy. And he goes, oh, you had sex with Claire? And then he says it like out loud. And then right then, of course, the guy was like, no, he's lying. I didn't say that. And then he's like, you were not motioning to Claire that you had sex with her? He's like, no, I didn't, Claire, I promise. And Claire's like, why would you say that, Brian? Like, now he's like, no, I didn't, and then he goes, what? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? And he's like, because I'm a virgin, okay? I just didn't want you guys to know I'm a virgin.
I think they already know, man.
Yeah, and then she's like, he's like, why? And he's like, because it's my business. It's my private business. That's why. And then she goes, I think it's okay for a guy to be a virgin. And then he's like, he smiles like a fucking loser. So they come back and they start eating lunch, right?
Yeah.
And everyone has a Coke in front of them. And Claire is eating sushi. And Bender's laughing. He's like, fucking sushi? And then she's like, and he's like, so you won't accept a guy's tongue in your mouth, but you'll eat that shit. And then she goes, can I eat? And then right then it pans over to Andrew and he's pulling shit out this humongous bag because he's a wrestler.
Right.
And it's just, the joke is just that
it's just so much stuff.
It's impossible, bro.
That much stuff in that bag.
Which I love a joke like that.
Yeah.
Just keeps coming.
All the jokes are small on this one.
Yeah.
The horns, the
little things like this. Because I love that he was like, I'm going to make this movie funny, but not funny. It's not going to be laugh out loud. It's not going to be that kind of funny.
It's going to be like, oh, that's funny.
That's funny. Yeah. But it's really like, oh, these characters. That's what this is,
And they barely leave this room, huh?
Oh, yeah, they don't leave the room at all.
Okay.
Great. And I love movies like that. 12 Angry Men style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the
They
first
use
movie
the
that
room
popped in my
as
head.
much as they can, you know? Which is how it moves to movies, I think. Just use everything in the room.
Okay.
You know? So they're watching him pull all the shit out, right? And they're just kind of looking at him like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, it's like donuts and shit. Like, not like donuts, but like a bag.
A bag of donuts.
A bag of donuts in a
It's
bag.
a bag, that's funny.
So they're eating lunch, and then they're all staring at him, and then right then the weird girl, she takes out her sandwich in the bag, and then she takes it apart, and then she throws the meat up on this weird statue, right? It's a classic shot of like this meat hitting the statue, and then it falls off slowly. And then she pours sugar on the bread, and then takes a bunch of Captain Crunch cereal and puts that on the other bread, and then closes it, and then and she looks up, and they're all like,
Yeah, the fuck? Yeah, the fuck is wrong with you?
great shot of this, and then they all just turn slowly as she keeps eating. You know what I mean? So Bender grabs Brian's lunch, the nerd.
Right.
And he goes, what we having today, Bri? And then he pulls it out and he's like, oh, PB&J with the crust cut off. Got an apple. And we got some carrots. You know, he's like some yogurt and something like that. And he's like, oh, all the nutritious lunch, the nutritious lunch of all the food groups is represented. Look at this. And then he's looking at it, and then Brian's kind of like looking around. And then he goes, you know what? This is my impression of life at Big Bri's house. And then he gets up, and everybody's kind of looking at him. This is my favorite part of the whole movie, by the way. This is as a kid to now. He goes, son? Yeah, Dad. How's your day, pal? Great, Dad. How's yours? Super. Say, son, how would you like to go fishing this weekend? Sounds great, Dad, but I've got homework to do. That's all right, son. You can do it on the boat. Gee, thanks, Dad. Dear, isn't our son swell? Dear, isn't life swell? And then they're all looking at him. And then he goes, yeah? Well, what about your family? That's the athlete guy. And he goes, oh, my family? That's easy. And he gets back and he goes, stupid, worthless, no good, goddamn freeloading son of a bitch, retarded, big mouth. You forgot lazy, disrespectful. Shut up, bitch! Make me a chicken pot pie. No, Dad. Hey, what about you? Fuck you. Hey, no, Dad, what about you? Fuck you. No, Dad, what about you? I don't believe you. What? That's just part of your image. I don't believe you. You don't believe me? You don't fucking believe me? You believe this? This is a burn. What's he say? You see this burn? It's like a circle burn on his arm.
Yeah.
About the size of a cigar, no? See, this is what happens in my house when you spill paint in the garage. And then Emilio Estevez kind of like, he goes, yeah, you know, I don't think I need to sit here with you fucking dildos any longer. And then the music starts getting intense and he backs away and he's like, ah! And he starts breaking shit in the library. And then he climbs a bunch of stairs like this and he starts fucking banging his head on the stairs. And then everybody's kind of looking. And then he's just trying to breathe, like calm himself down. And then she goes, you shouldn't have done that. This is Claire to the athlete. You shouldn't have done that. And he's like, how the fuck was I supposed to know?
Yeah. What this guy? What you can't throw the grenade back at the guy throwing grenades? Get the fuck out of here.
He goes, he's been lying about everything. I thought he was lying. Right? And then right then it cuts to Vernon and he's now eating lunch. And then he's got a sandwich in there and then he spills coffee all over his lunch. Like just everywhere. And he's just like just
One
the
of
worst
those
day.
days. Yeah.
So it shows him like walking off, complaining. And then he's walking by and he's like trying to get the coffee off him. And then they all watch him walk by and then they all sneak out. Okay? And you hear like, dun-dun-dun-dun, like music change. And then you hear the guy go, how do you know, the girl goes, how do you know where Vernon went? And he goes, I don't. And she goes, well, how do you know when he's going to come back? And he was like, I don't. And then she's like, what? And then he's like, being bad feels good, huh? And then he keeps walking, and she's like, and then she keeps walking with him, right?
Yeah.
And then right then the nerdy guy, he's talking to the athlete. He's like, why are we going to Burner's locker? And the dude's like, I don't know. The athlete guy's like, I don't know. He's like, no, but why? We shouldn't be doing this if we can get in trouble. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I mean, why would we do this if we're going to get in trouble? Hey, man, ask me one more question. I'm going to beat the shit out of you. He's like,
Yeah.
And so they get to his locker, right? Burner, and he opens it up. And when he opens it up, bro, I bullshit you not, a fucking guillotine drops down. Like, shing hard. Like, if you'd have put your hand in there, bro,
It's gone.
you lost your motherfucking hand.
Yeah. Well, lockers in the 80s were crazy. The fuck? You also could just...
Because it's not like he would have to set that up. That's a full rigged machine.
Yeah, that's like a lot. And then you could have cut your own hand off.
Bro, what if you forget?
Yeah.
You're in a rush and you're like,
Oh, the guillotine.
I forgot about my guillotine.
I forgot about my guillotine. Also, have better security than letting, like, there's got to be like a combination or some shit.
Bro, just get a lock.
Yeah.
Get a lock,
get
dog.
a lock.
You don't have to
It's called a
cut
locker.
niggas' hands off.
It's not called a guillotiner.
Yeah, it's called a locker.
Yeah.
Not a guillotiner, you fucking psycho.
Crazy person.
Jesus.
Good God.
Yeah, that shot, I was like, how? How did other students watch him set that up?
Yeah.
Without going, hey, bro, is that a guillotine?
Yeah, bro. That's like, don't do that.
Hey, I know you're like a bad boy, but
But
definitely
like,
don't do
don't
that.
murder people on campus.
Don't cut hands off.
Yeah, good Lord.
Also, it comes down so hard. So his locker's filthy, right? And then he gets drugs out of a bag.
Right.
And then they're all looking like, you come here for drugs? And then they're like, oh, it's marijuana. And then he walks off, right? And then the nerd's like, do you guys approve of this? And then they all walk off, and he just freaks out like, ah! And then it's a shot of their feet, and they're walking, and then he goes, we're all gonna we'll cut through the lab and double back. And there's these great shots of their shoes, almost like Seinfeld kind of shots
Right.
of their shoes. Like you hear them talking, but it's their shoes that the shots are on.
Right.
And then it shows them like running. They're kind of like jogging, and then they spot Vern down the end of the hall. Music cuts in. Montage starts.
Oh, chase montage?
You better believe it, son. Well, not a chase montage.
They're like,
trying to not get caught montage. Scooby-Doo kind of montage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Zoinks!
they're running down the halls, and then then Werner bends a corner, and then they run back the other way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all those kind of shots. So
it's all five of them moving together?
yeah, all five of them moving together.
Okay.
And the music's playing, And then right then Burner goes, let's go through the cafeteria. And then Andrew's like, we're done listening to you. We're going through the lab. This is my decision. And then they all go a different way. And then Burner disapproves, but he's like, and he goes with them, right?
Right.
So of course the music keeps going, and then they hit a bunch of chains. Like they hit it's locked this way. And then they're like, God damn it. And they're like, oh, we all should have listened to John. And they're like, oh, fuck you, man. And then he's right then the Burner guy goes, get back to the library and keep this with you. And then he stuffs his drugs down the nerd guy's pants. And then he starts running down the hall screaming like, I want to be an Air Force Ranger. And he's making a bunch of noise. And then they're all like, because he sacrifices himself. You know what I mean? And so they all wait, and then they all start going the opposite way.
Right.
And then, of course, Vernon hears it, and he's like, oh, you Burner. And then he starts running, looking after him and trying to find him, right? So he keeps running. He's screaming, I want to be an airborne ranger. And he's running, he's screaming. And then he finally goes to the basketball gym. And then when Vernon comes in, he's like, 3, 2, 1, Vernon win. He's like cheering for himself.
Right.
And then he's like, what are you doing? He's like, that's it. Get out of here. Get out. And then he goes, what are you doing? He's like, get out of this room right now. He goes, hold on, man. I'm thinking about getting a scholarship. And he's like, keeps trying to shoot. He's like, Burner, get out of this gym right now. And then he like keeps playing with him. And then Burner like kicks the ball at him. And then he's like, and he grabs him. They takes him back to the thing. And he goes, you will all be without this guy for the rest of the day. And then he's like, go get your stuff, right? And then he's going to get his stuff. And then he says how he's in there because he pulled the fire alarm on Friday. That's why he's here. He pulled the fire alarm, okay?
Right.
And he goes, what if he goes, you think everything's a joke pulling the fire alarm? He goes, what if your family was on fire? Better yet, what if your dope was on fire? And then the Burner guy looks up. He goes, impossible, sir. It's in Brian's underwear. And then everybody kind of laughs. And Brian's like, like,
Yeah.
like, oh, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Why would you do this to me?
Right. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then the principal goes, look at him. Everybody look at him. He's a bum. This is a bum. Go visit him in 5 years, and you tell me what you think of him then. And then right then the burner guy's looking at me. He's like, "What's the matter, John?" That's his name, John Burner. He's like, "You gonna cry?" And he's like, "Let's go." And then right then he grabs him. He's like, "Get your fucking hands off me!" Right? And he looks at him. And then right then he knocks a bunch of shit off the desk as he leaves.
Burner?
Yeah, he knocks all this shit, like
Bender, whatever.
Lots of shit off the desk when he leaves, you know? And then he takes him into this broom closet, right? And he locks the door and he goes, "That's the last time."
Bow, chicka, bow, wow, wow, chicka, wow. And the movie takes a weird turn.
That's the last time.
Wow.
Like, you ever make me look bad in front of those kids again? And then he says, "I make $31,000 a year and I have a home. And I'm not going to throw it all away for some punk."
Okay, so this is definitely the 80s.
Yeah, it was definitely 80s. $31K a year and I have a home.
Get the fuck out of here. With that bullshit, you have a studio apartment and you're happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely 80s. You have a home. Yeah, back then you have a home.
Yeah.
So he goes, but someday, I'm gonna tell you something, Burner. Someday when you're long gone from here and everyone has forgotten about you and you've forgotten about this place, I'm gonna be there. And then right then Burner looks up and he goes, "And I'm gonna kick the shit out of you. I'm gonna kick your dick in the dirt. You hear me?" And then he goes, "You threatening me?" And he goes, "Yeah. What you gonna do about it?" You know?
Now the bow chicka wow kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
And he goes, "Everyone's gonna believe me. I'm a good guy. You're a lying sack of shit." And then he's looking at him and he goes, "Oh, you know what? On your feet, pal. Right now, I want to see how tough you are." And he undoes his thing. He's like, "Let's go. I want to find out right now how tough you are. Let's see it, huh? I'll give you the first punch right here. Come on, please punch me. Come on, please, just one fucking punch. Do it, do it." And he's kind of looking at him like scared now, like, "Oh shit."
But who's looking at him?
Like the burner guy,
Burner.
like kind of scared.
Yeah, the fuck?
Because he sees that he's serious now, you know?
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, that's what I thought. You know? You're a gutless turd." And then he locks the closet and he leaves him. I love his lingo, bro. "You're a gutless turd."
Jesus, I don't know if a principal should be talking like that. Hey, at least he's not a shitty detective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Vernon goes to take a shit.
He's just like, "Hey, fight me, kids." I like that. I like that principal way
I
better.
like that way better.
Yeah.
Than coming to my house, you
Yeah.
fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Vernon, so he goes to take a shit, and then they show back in the closet, and Bender has now climbed his way up and out the ceiling.
That's great.
Okay? And he is now climbing through the ceiling, and he's telling himself like a walks in the bar joke as he's crawling through trying to get back to the library, and then right then falls through the ceiling in the library. And of course everyone's panicked, like, "What the fuck?" And then he pops up and he goes, "What? I forgot my pencil." And then he grabs a pencil, right? And then right then you hear Vernon go yelling, "God damn it! What in God's name's going on?" And he busts in, and then Burner hides under a table, right? And he goes, "What's all that ruckus?" And then they're kind of looking at him, and he goes, "What was that ruckus?" And then they go, "Ruckus, sir?" And he goes, I was just in my office, and I heard a ruckus out here. Can you describe the ruckus, sir?" Can you describe it? And then he goes, "Shut your mouth, you know what I mean." And then right then Bender cuts to Bender under the desk, and he's looking up Claire's panties. He's like, "Ooh," and then he reaches in, and then you hear her go, like crack his fingers, and hear him go, "Ah, fuck!" And then they all go, "Ah, fuck! Ah!" They all start coughing like that. And then he goes, "What's going on in here?" And then they're like, "Oh, nothing, sir." And he goes, he's like, "I may have not have caught you guys in the act this time, but you can bet I will. I will not be made a fool of." And then he turns around, and he still has the toilet seat cover on his butt. And so the door closes, and they all bust out, start laughing, right?
Right.
And then right then she backs away. She starts hitting him under a table. She's like, get up. And then he goes, "What? It was an accident. Sue me." And then she's like, "Oh, you're such an asshole." And then right then he goes back up to the nerd, and he goes, "Ahab, got my doobage? Can I have my doobage?" And then he goes, "Yeah." And he gives him his weed back out of his pants. And then right then the jock guy goes, "Hey, yo, Wastezoid, don't you blaze up in here." And then he looks at him, and he walks off, right?
Right.
And then right then Claire is like waiting, and then she turns around and she goes back with him, right? And then it's the Andrew and the nerd guy. They make eye contact, and they're looking at each other, and they're like, "No," right? He's like, "You can't do that." He's like, "No, I'm not gonna do it." And then they're sitting there, and then the nerd's like,
Yeah,
he goes back to the weed.
Yeah. That's very much like the first time I was like, "Wait, I guess."
Yeah.
Might as well.
And so the Andrew guy, he's sitting there, and he's like, and then the basket case, she's kind of just looking at him like this. Because it's a shot of her looking at him like this. And then he's like, shit. And then he gets up and he leaves too, right?
Yeah.
And she kind of just looks like, watches like, oh, okay. And then, okay, so now they're all smoking weed.
In the library.
Better fucking believe it, brother. So they're all smoking weed, and the nerd is being like goofy, and he's making everyone laugh, right?
Yeah.
He's like doing like impressions and doing all this. He's just cracking everybody up. Claire's inhaling and coughing, and then the Bender guy's like laughing like that.
Uh-huh.
So she goes, do you guys know how popular I am? Everyone loves me so much. And then she says that, and she's high as hell. And then right then, the door opens up from behind them, and the room is completely smoked out. And then the Andrew guy comes out, and he's got the joint, and he's like, throws it, and then he starts rocking out, dancing to himself.
Right.
Bouncing all over the walls, doing backflips, climbing on shit. The opposite
Instead of
energy
being
after
high.
a joint. The literal opposite energy after a joint to yourself.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes when I watch a movie, it's like, you guys have been high before, though, right?
Dude,
you guys are working in Hollywood. You guys
bouncing
have
off the wall.
been high.
Come on.
No, there's no way.
Everyone else was right. Like them sitting in a circle and like doing goofy impressions and laugh like that. Yeah.
But you know what I will say? Well, the first time getting high, a lot of people like act like, oh, this is what you're supposed to act like when you're high. So I get that.
And you know what? For this movie's perspective, I wouldn't put it past John Hughes that was the character's like.
Yeah. Oh, this is what I'm supposed to do when I'm high. I'm supposed to be crazy.
I'm an athlete. I'm a jock. I never smoked before.
Yeah.
All this energy anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm supposed to do drugs and go crazy.
Go crazy. He's bounced off the wall. He literally, at one point, slams the door, screams so loud, the glass breaks. That's how the montage ends of him by himself dancing.
Okay.
Bouncing off the walls.
Yeah, that's exactly
They keep fucking this library up, too. Like, by the end of this library is fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
Ripping book, all kinds of shit. Like, you're the librarian coming back, you're like, what?
Why is there a hole in the
Hole
ceiling?
in the ceiling. Everything's on the floor. Somebody moved the bookshelf.
Yeah.
Like, all kinds of shit.
Reeks of weed.
And cigarettes. Dude. What happened in my library?
Yeah, what the fuck? What kind of weird, fun-ass detention happened?
Yeah, some fun to a party in here,
Yeah.
clearly. There's a hole in the ceiling. Like a hole, you're right, like a legit, a human hole.
Yeah, what's the
Not
ruckus?
like a little hole.
You didn't notice the debris?
How did you not notice all the fucking debris?
Yeah.
All the ceiling flakes in the air.
All the asbestos floating around. Whatever the fuck things were made out of in the 80s.
That's such a good point. How did you not notice the debris that would just be in the air from such a ruckus?
What the fuck?
Like it all would just fall. And that would be it.
Yeah, ruckus isn't clean. There's
Yeah.
no clean ruckus.
Also, there would be shit from, like a light would be dangling, like all kinds of shit, nigga. But anyway.
Well, he still hasn't noticed. The principal hasn't noticed this, so I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Bad detective.
Yeah.
So Vernon, it cuts back to him. He's downstairs in the basement going through the records of people, right? And the janitor walks in on him, and he goes, hey, Mr. Vernon, why are you in the basement files? And he's like, just doing homework. Yeah, but these are confidential files. That's what the janitor says. And he's like, hey, Carl, I'd really appreciate if we could just, keep this between us.
Wait, if it's confidential, what the fuck is it doing on school property?
What?
Sorry, I was just like, there's no way these are confidential files.
Yeah, why would they be in the
At
basement?
the school. Yeah. And also, if the principal can't look at them, who the fuck can? Who has the higher, as a superintendent, has to come in and turn two keys at the same time?
I assume.
Like,
Because he was looking at he's looking at the files of the other teachers.
Oh,
He's
okay.
looking at like their health records and shit. Because then he's
Okay.
like mumbling to himself, like, "Ooh, what do you got going on, Miss Johnson?" Like shit like that. So I guess, but it's like I think wouldn't the principal still get access to that? Maybe vice principal not? I don't know how.
well, there's no way vice principal outranks principal
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't see why the principal wouldn't have access to everything in the
in the
school.
school. Right.
Everything in the school.
And why does the janitor have access to them? Like,
Yo,
what the
because
fuck?
the janitor's all in my business. I'm like, hey, my nigga, even if I don't have access,
Yeah.
you don't.
If this is confidential, you're not supposed to be here, probably.
So why don't you get the fuck
Fuck,
out of my business?
yeah. Guy I can
Boy.
fire.
And he goes, so the guy's like, what are you gonna do for me? And then Vernon's like, what do you like? And then he's like, I like $50. I love that. And then he gives him $50.
Yeah.
So cut to, they're asking the nerd his middle name.
Right.
Everybody in the library, they're asking the nerd his middle name. And then the weird girl cuts everyone off and guesses everything about him. Your middle name's this, social security number's this, you live on this street, like you live on this street, and this is your date of birth, right? And then they're all looking at her like, what the fuck? And then she's like, I stole your wallet. And he's like, oh, you're a thief. Right? He gets all mad. And then right then it cuts back to Bender and Claire, and they're going through each other's stuff. And then she's asking if all these pictures of girls he has are all his girlfriends. And he's like, no, they aren't. And then she's like, oh, okay. And they kind of talk about that for a little bit. Like flirting, but not flirting.
Right.
You know? So Andrew gives the athlete gives the nerd shit. He's looking over he has a fake ID. He's like, why do you have a fake ID? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, why does it say you're 68? And then the nerd's like, yeah, I goofed it. I fucked it up. He's like, well, what do you need a fake for anyway? And then the nerd goes, so I can vote. Duh. Classic line, dude. So right then, the basket case girl goes, you guys want to see what's in my bag? Out loud. And then everyone in unison goes, no.
Nah.
Right? Like, fuck no. And then she goes, and then she just dumps it all out anyway. And it's just so much shit. It's just as much shit as he was eating for lunch. You know what I mean? Just like way too much stuff in the bag. And then they're all like, who needs all this shit? And she goes, me. You never know when you may have to jam. And the nerd guy goes, are you going to be one of those shopping bag ladies who like sits in an alleyway and talks to buildings? And then she's like, no. She's like, my home life is unsatisfying, so I don't know where I might need to go. And then he goes, oh, so you're going to live on the streets because your home life's unsatisfying? And then she goes, no, I can live in Australia. I can live in Afghanistan. I don't have to live on the streets, right? And she starts getting mad. And then Andrew, the guy goes, well, everyone's home life is unsatisfying. That's just the deal. And he's like, so what's the deal with you? And she's like, there is no deal, sporto. Why don't you just leave me alone?
You're the one who dumped the bag out.
So he goes, so you're carrying all this stuff in your purse. You're either going to run away or you want people to think you're running away. And then she storms off. And then he kind of follows her and he goes, you want to talk? And she's like, go away. And then he like walks off and then like, all right. And then she goes, you have problems. You do everything everyone tells you to do. That's a problem. And he goes, yeah? Well, I didn't dump my problems all over on a couch for everybody and invite everyone into it. And then she's like, oh. And then he looks at her and he goes, is it that bad? And she doesn't say anything. And he's like, is it your parents? And she gets a little sadder. And then she looks at him and she's like, yeah. And then he's like, what did they do to you? They ignore me.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like a long beat, bro. And then he's like, yeah. And then it is. So right then it's cut back to now Carl and the principal are having a whiskey in the office, right?
Right.
Having a shot. And then he goes to Carl. He's like, what did you want to be when you were young? And the janitor's like, I wanted to be John Lennon. And he's like, no, don't make goofs, man. I'm serious. He's like, I've been teaching for 22 years, and each year these kids they just get more and more arrogant. And then he's like, no, Vernon, the kids haven't changed. You changed. And he goes, no, tell him, man, these kids are different. He's like, no, when you took the position, you thought it would be fun and blah, 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 and you were young. And he's like, now you're older and it's becoming work and, it's just different. He's like, no, these kids have turned on me, man. You don't understand. And he goes, tell me this, Werner. If you were 16, how would you feel about yourself? He goes, well, I don't give a rat's ass what they think. And he goes, well, I think you do. He said, let me tell you something. These kids are going to be running the country soon. And when they get older, they're going to be the ones that take care of us, and take care of me, you. And that's what keeps me up at night. And he goes, the Carl guy goes, I wouldn't count on it, man. And the scene ends. So they're all sitting in a circle now, right? Mm-hmm. And they're playing like a game, like a what would you do for $1 million kind of game, okay? And the weird girl says she would do anything sexual because she already has. She's done everything sexual already, so she would do anything sexual for money. And then she told her how she told her shrink this, and then he nailed her. And she was like, but I couldn't say it was rape because I paid him after. And they're all looking at her like, you're fucking crazy.
Wait, what? Yeah.
And then right then Claire's like, oh, you're so weird, right? And then she goes, yeah, well, have you ever done it? And then she goes, I don't have a psychiatrist. And she goes, no, have you ever done it? And she's like, we already talked about this. And then the Bender goes, yeah, but you didn't answer the question. Are you a virgin?
She didn't answer
the question.
Yeah.
And then she goes, it's a trap. I'm not going to answer. Because if I haven't, and then the one girl goes, it is a trap. Because if you haven't, you're a tease. And if you have, you're a slut. So which one is it? And then everybody goes, tease. She's a tease. Claire's a tease. She goes, I'm not a tease. And then they go, you're definitely a tease. You use your power to like flirt with men, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, no, I don't do that. And they go, that's what you're saying. She goes, no, I didn't say that. You guys are putting words in my mouth. He's like, well, you're a tease. Well, then just answer the question, Claire. Or if you're not a tease, are you a virgin? She goes, I don't want to. Are you a virgin? Come on, Claire. Answer the question. Claire, everybody's like, answer the question, Claire. Right. All right. No, I never did it. And it's quiet. And then the weird girl goes, I never did it either. She goes, I'm not a nymphomaniac. I'm a compulsive liar.
That's pretty funny.
And then she goes, but I would do it. You know, if I love someone, then I think that's okay. And she goes, you're so weird. Why are you so weird? And then she goes, and then the athlete goes, you're just mad because she made you admit to something you didn't want to. And she goes, yeah, but that's so bizarre. And he goes, who cares? We're all bizarre, right? This is the athlete. And he goes, I mean, you guys want to know what I did to get in here? And they're all looking at him. And he goes, I taped Larry Lester's buns together. And then they all kind of start laughing, right? And then the nerd goes, that was you? And then you see Emilio go, you know him? And then the nerd's like, yeah. Right? It seems immediately gets like, oh, okay. You know, and then he goes, yeah. He goes, well, if you know him, then you know how hairy he is. And then you might know that when they pulled the tape off his butt, it pulled all the hair and skin off his ass. You can imagine how bad that was for him.
That sucks.
He goes, and then they're looking at him like, oh, fuck. And then he's like, you know, I did it for my old man. I tortured this poor kid because I wanted my old man to think I was cool. He goes, he was always going off about how wild he was when he was in high school. And I always felt like I disappointed him because I'm not that kind of kid. You know, I'm not like that. So I'm in the locker room and I'm taping my knee. And I look over and Larry's just undressing. And he's kind of skinny. And he's kind of weak. And I thought about my old man and his attitude on weakness. And next thing I know, I'm just on top of him and I'm just wailing on him and I'm wailing on him. And my friends are laughing and they're all cheering me on. He goes, and afterwards in Vern's office the next week, in Vern's office later, he said, all I could think about was Larry's father. And Larry having to go home and explain what happened. And he just starts bawling, crying. He's like, in the humiliation, man. The fucking humiliation.
Jesus, this scene turned like
crazy.
Real
quick. Goes,
yeah.
The humiliation he must have felt, it must have been fucking unreal. He goes, and how do you apologize for something like that? There's no way. I can't say anything to him. He goes, all because of my old man. God, I fucking hate him. He's like a mindless machine I can't relate to. You have to be number one, Andrew. You have to win. Win. We don't tolerate losers in this family. Win. Win. Sometimes I just wish I could get hurt and not wrestle anymore, man. And he's quiet. And then the burner guy goes, you know, I think your old man and my old man should get together for some bowling. He says it in this way of like, I don't give a fuck. So right then the nerd, like, it's quiet and the nerd goes, talks about how, he's like, he understands because he doesn't like what he sees when he looks himself in the mirror. He doesn't like it.
Yeah. And
then Claire asks, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? And he's like, I was failing shop. You know, they told us to make these ceramic elephant lamps and the light should go on when you pull the trunk. And mine's didn't go on. I got an F. I never got an F in my entire life. I thought I was, playing it smart. I'll take shop. It'll be easy. And then right then the bender guy goes, wait, why did you think it would be easy? And then he goes, you've seen the dopes that take shop. And he goes, I take shop. So you must be a fucking idiot then. And then he goes, yeah, well, do you know trig? And then Claire's like, well, we get it. You both know how to do stuff.
Yeah. This is not the time for this argument.
Yeah.
Finish your story.
So they all start, and then right then they all start kind of saying what they can do, and they're all kind of laughing, right? And then the athlete guy goes, well, I can tape all your butt cheeks together, and they all kind of smile. And then the bad guy goes, well, I want to know what Claire can do. What can you do, Claire? And she goes, well, I can do something, but you guys have to promise not to laugh. And they're like, okay, we all promise. And then she puts the lipstick in between her cleavage, and then she goes like that, and like puts lipstick on with her cleavage, right? And everybody like claps and like laughs, like, oh, that's awesome, right?
Yeah.
And then the bad boy's kind of looking at her, and then he goes, well, I guess my image of you now is totally blown. And then they're all like, you fucking asshole. You said you weren't going to make fun of her. Mm-hmm. And he's like, what? No, I'm not saying anything. And then right then Claire's like, you're not the only one. You have feelings too, and I have feelings. You need to remember that, you're not the only one in here that can hurt people's feelings. Like, other people's feelings get hurt. And then he goes, hey, Claire, don't you ever fucking compare yourself to me, okay? You're fucking Rapunzel, all right? Don't you ever talk about my life and compare your feelings with my feelings. He's like, look at your fucking earrings, Claire. Are those real diamonds? And she goes, shut up. He goes, I bet you they are real diamonds. Shut up. Did you work for the money for those diamonds, Claire? Shut up. Or did your daddy give them to you for Christmas? You want to know what I got for Christmas? It was a banner year in the old Bender house. The old man grabbed me by my throat and he said, here, Johnny, smoke up, and gave me a pack of fucking cigarettes. And she's looking at him. He's like, so don't you ever talk about your life and my life. You know what I mean? And he goes, she goes,
what a kind of cool
yeah,
cool Christmas present. I mean, if it's an abusive father, but like
it wasn't for the abuse.
If it was for the abuse part, yeah, that's actually pretty chill.
She's like, so go home, cry to your daddy, but don't cry here. All right? And then it's quiet. And then the athlete goes, my God, are we gonna all be like our parents? And the basket case girl goes, it's unavoidable. It just happens. She goes, when you grow up, your heart dies. Woo! So the nerd goes, I know this is a weird time, but what's going to happen to us on Monday? Because, I consider you guys my friends now. And I just want to know, am I wrong? And then everybody's kind of looking at him. And he's like, so on Monday, what happens? Are we friends? And then Claire goes, you want the truth? He's like, yeah. And she goes, I don't think so. And then he's like, with all of us or just John? He points to the bad boy. And then she's like, with everybody. And then and then he's like, nice attitude, Claire. And then he goes, what? Because it's the Emilio says that, and she goes, what? If Brian walked up to you and your athlete friends and says hi tomorrow, what are you gonna do? You're gonna say hi back, and then you're gonna cut him up as soon as he walks away, so your friends don't know that you actually like him. And then right then, the athlete guy goes, no way. And then what about? And then the bad boy goes, what about you, Claire? What are you gonna do? And she goes, the exact same thing. And he goes, you're a fucking bitch. You're a bitch, Claire. And he goes, well, what about you, hypocrite? Why don't you take Brian out to the park tomorrow to get high with your friends? She goes, huh? You don't know anything. Or what about, she goes, why don't you take Andrew to go out and party? Or what about me? What if your friends saw you with me? What would they say? He goes, you don't know shit about my friends. You don't know anything about my friends. And as far as you're concerned about you walking down the hallway with me Monday morning, it's not gonna fucking happen, okay? So you bury your head in the sand and you wait until your fucking prom. And then she goes, I hate you. He goes, yeah, fucking good. And she's sitting there. And now Brian is crying, right? He's like, so you're telling me Allison and I are better people than you guys? Because we're weirdos? We're better people?
That's the weird girl's name, Allison.
Mm-hmm. And he goes, would you do that, Allison? And she goes, I don't have any friends. And he goes, what if you did? And she goes, no. And then he goes, well, I wouldn't do that either. I wouldn't, and I will not. Because that's a shitty thing to do to a person. And then Claire goes, that's because your friends wouldn't mind because they look up to us. And he looks at her. It's the reality. It is the reality. Fuck her for saying it.
Yeah.
I get that. But she ain't fucking lying.
That's some rough truth.
The truthiest of the truth. And I respected her for saying that shit.
Yeah.
So right then, he goes, you're so conceited, Claire. He's like crying. You're so fucking full of yourself. Why are you like that? And she's like, I hate it. I hate going along with my friends say. He's like, then why do you do it? She's like, you don't understand. You're not friends with the same kind of people me and Andrew are. You don't understand the pressure they can put you under. He's like, you think I don't understand pressure? You think I don't understand pressure? Fuck you, Claire. Fuck you. And he starts crying really hard. And he's hiding his face and he's like, you guys want to know what I did to get in here today? Do you? And they're like, what did you do? He goes, I'm here because Mr. Ryan found a gun in my locker. And they're like, oh. Yeah, and then
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
And then the athlete goes, why was there a gun in your locker? He goes, I tried, man. I tried. But the stupid fucking trunk light wouldn't come on. And they're like, what's the gun for, Brian? He's like, forget it. And they're like, you brought it up, man.
That's all you get is attention for that?
Yeah.
This is the 80s.
Dude, me and Sam talked about all this after. We'll get into this. Trust me. We'll get into this on the recap. We talk I have lots of things. After you watch the movie, we'll get into that.
Okay.
All right? And he goes, I can't have an F, man. I can't have it. I can't have it. And I know my parents won't have it. And even if I ace the rest of the semester, it's still only going to be enough for a B.
Oh my God, is he going to try to kill the shop teacher?
So and then right then he kicks the chair and he's like crying. I was just considering all my options, you know? And then Claire goes, killing yourself isn't an option, Brian. He goes, well, I didn't do it, did I, Claire? And then right then the basket case girl goes, was it a handgun? And he goes, no, flare gun. Went off in my locker. And then Andrew goes, you know? And he goes, it's not fucking funny, man. He goes, no, it's not funny.
That's pretty funny. Flare gun?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, and then he goes, and then they all kind of start giggling, and he goes, I guess it is kind of funny.
Yeah.
He goes, man, the fucking elephant got destroyed. And he goes, right then, everybody's kind of like laughing, like chuckling now. And then the basket case girl goes, you guys want to know what I did to get in here? And they all look at her, and she goes, nothing. I had nothing to do today. And then they all bust out laughing. They're all like, oh my God.
That's funny.
And she goes, don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me.
Yeah.
That's all. It's the best laugh of the movie.
Yeah.
So right then, the nerd is cutting up rock music, right? Mm. And Allison is like dancing on the statue. And then it shows the Bender guy, and he's like fucking head banging on the statue. And they cut the rock music all the way up. And it's the most 80s song of all time. It's just, I think the song is called the most 80s song.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just 80s as fuck is the name of the song.
Yeah.
Like the chorus is like, we are not alone.
Yeah. It is 1980.
And we are singing power ballad songs.
We probably have big hair.
Big hair for sure and a guitar.
Yeah.
So it's just like that kind of music.
Yeah.
And a great dance montage starts. It's like the class, them just like, and Molly Ringwald's doing this classic cool 80s dance stuff.
Right.
And then they're all doing this thing where they're walking on this railing and they're like doing this cool like montage with their feet. Like they're all doing this and they're all like, the guys are doing this thing. And it's like, it's a great shot. These are great shots. So they're all dancing. And then right then it cuts back to Bender and he's crawling back on the roof, back to the closet. And you're like, da-na-na-na-na. Like that music kind of shit. And then they're all sitting and thinking. They're all just kind of sitting there and thinking. And then Claire goes, Brian, are you going to write your paper? And then he's like, yeah. And then she goes, I think it's kind of a waste of a time for us all to write a paper, don't you think? And then he goes, yeah, but that's what Vernon wants. And she was like, yeah, but it seems like a waste for us all to write the same thing, don't you? And he goes, you want me to write your paper? And she goes, no, he goes, you just don't want to write your paper. And she goes, true, but you're also the smartest. And he goes, you're right. Well, I am. And then she goes, all right. And he goes, I'll do it. And she's like, great. And then Claire stares at Allison and she's like, come with me. And Allison's like, what? And then she grabs her, right? So the next shot, she's putting makeup all on her face. Right. She's prettifying her all up. And then she's like, don't stick that in my eye. She's like, I won't. Just do this. And she's got her doing all that shit. And then the basket case girl's like, why are you being so nice to me? And she's like, because you're letting me. And then she keeps putting the makeup on her. And then Brian's working hard on the paper. And then as Brian working hard on the paper, you see the Bender's in the closet sitting like this. And the door opens and he looks up. And he's like, and it's Claire. And then she closes the door. And he's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Yeah. And Andrew is now sitting in the library and he looks up and then Allison walks in. And then like heavy 80s romance music, like kicks in and he's like seeing her. Yeah. You know? And then like Brian looks up and he sees her, he's smiling too. And then cut back to Claire and Bender in the closet and she's kissing him on the neck, you know? And then he's like, why did you do that? And then she goes, you know how and she goes, why do you do that? And she goes, no reason. And then he's looking at her and he goes, you know how you say your parents use you to get back at each other? He's like, wouldn't I be outstanding in that category? And she kind of smiles. And then
good bad boy.
Yeah, and then she goes, does the way I put my lipstick on really disgust you? And he's like, truth? And she's like, yeah. Nah. And then like they kind of like they're smiling. And then cuts back to Andrew and Allison, and Andrew's like, what happened to you? And she's like, why? Claire did it. Is there something wrong? You know, like she doesn't know. And then he's like, no, nothing. It's sort of different. I can see your face. And she's like, is it good or bad? It's good. And then it cuts back to Brian and he's like looking at his paper and he's like nailed it. You know what I mean? Right. And so now they're all leaving, and they're all like got their backpacks on, and they're all saying bye to the janitor. And the burner guy's like, "See you next Saturday, Carl." And they kind of dap up and they kind of smile.
Right.
And then the theme song starts playing. Don't you forget about me. Don't. So first shot, it's that same shot from the beginning. Brian gets in the car with his dad, pulls off, right? Cut to Allison, and her and the athlete are kissing. Okay.
Oh.
Right then, she rips off a patch of his Letterman jacket. Okay, he's like, what? And then his dad rolls up, and then he gets in the car with his dad, and she goes off with her folks, right?
Right.
They kind of drive off. The camera moves. Claire is kissing Claire is giving Bender, one of her diamond earrings.
Right.
Right. She puts it in his hand. He looks at her, and then they kiss, and then they kiss, and they kind of back up, and then he goes in for more, and she like stops him.
Yeah.
And then she gets in her car, and he's like stunned, and then she pulls off. Song's still playing, and he looks at the earring. And then he puts it in slow, kind of smiling to himself. You know what I mean? And then
just sticks an earring in? What a badass.
Yeah. Well, he already has his.
Oh, he has. Yeah. Okay.
His hair's already pierced.
Okay.
Yeah. So voice cut right back to the voiceover, and he's putting the earring in, and then Dear Mr. Vernon, and then it's the same voiceover from earlier, the exact same one from the beginning of the movie. And he's like, and each one of us, is a brain. He says it, and then the athlete goes athlete, and the basket goes a basket case, a princess, and then the last two. And a criminal, He's like, and then he goes, does that answer your question? Sincerely yours, The Breakfast Club. And then Bender's walking across a football field, and then he pumps his fist in the air, freeze frame. And then, as you walk on by, as you call my name, Breakfast Club.
Hey, we did it.
Not even kidding, one of my favorite movies still. Fucking fun to tell, fun to watch. It is a fun movie, dude.
Real ass arguments.
Great arguments.
I'm trying to think of last time I got a real ass argument like that.
Dude, unbelievable dialogue, unbelievable character development. Absolutely, like I said, no fat at all. All the shots are perfect. The vibe, it really encapsulates
so you don't
what
like
school
it.
Would be like in the 80s.
You don't like it.
I hated it.
Yeah.
I really didn't like it. I just love when doing this podcast, man, when someone does a good movie. Not that, because Man on Fire was great. That's a great movie. But this movie is perfect. You know what I mean? Like, man, there's great movies, and then they're like, I think certain movies like this or Ferris Bueller's Day Off, those movies that they're timeless classics for a reason.
It's tight.
And it's because, and now I'm realizing it's just because a timeless classic is
no wasted scenes.
There's no waste. That's what makes a movie time, is that every shot goes into the next thing and it all flows and it ends when it's supposed to end. And yeah, well done, John Hughes.
See you soon.